quite a few criticisms for this movie. I honestly didn't really care for it as much as I thought I would. I will say one compliment before I get into the things I didn't like. For being, a versus movie, there's a lot of verses. Unlike most movies are like, here's maybe one or two scenes that are like 3 minutes long. There's your verses. This had 4 different scenes. But they weren't too long, so it doesn't really fix anything. There is quite a few things I did not like. The whole setup for Godzilla vs. Kong is very stupid. What they did was perfectly fine, but they decided to add some bullshit. They said that the reason Godzilla and King Kong are fighting are because their ancestors fought or some bullshit like that. Even though the plot makes it just fine. Because Godzilla wants revenge on Apex because they're making Mecha Godzilla. And Kong just happens to be in the way. That's just perfect. Fine. There we go. There's your plot. Not some ancestor bullshit. And then Josh was a very pointless character in this movie. He literally did nothing useful besides eventually he poured a drink on a computer because he realized it would malfunction, which anybody would have thought of that. It was just a stupid idea, but it worked. So then Mecha Godzilla, I didn't really care for his design, and the way he came to be reminds me of that one Transformer movie where they take Megatron's head and they try and make Megatron, and then eventually the Megatron, just quits responding to orders because he's actually Megatron. Well, this one wasn't, actually Godzilla, but they make a robot, it turns against him, and it just quits following orders. So it reminded me of that. And honestly, even though it's called Godzilla vs. Kong, I think Kong got the most deadly hits against Godzilla. Besides the water scene. Of course Godzilla was gonna whoop his ass there. That's like his place, it seems, because he was a really good swimmer. The only movie I've seen with the Kong and Godzilla thing was Kong Skull Island. This is the second movie I've ever seen, and this is the first movie I've seen Godzilla in. But honestly seems like Kong got the better hits, besides one scene where Godzilla's on top of him and just scratching the shit out of his chest. But it just leaves like instant scars instead of, blood. So, I don't know. It's kind of stupid. And not really much else to talk about. It's kind of boring at times. There's a few jokes that just seemed like they were trying too hard to be funny. There's literally a joke about Tide Pods in this, which happened like 5 years ago. I think you're a bit late. But there's also like an unfunny joke. Like, it could have been funny, but they executed it kind of poorly. Where the evil bad guy makes a speech, then Mecha Godzilla kills him. And after Mecha Godzilla kills him, Bernie is like, man, I really wanted to hear the rest of his speech. It's so unfair. Like, okay. But yeah, very underwhelming. I preferred Kong Skull Island, but there really wasn't much to talk about in that movie either. So